Well, springtime is fast approaching and love is in the air. So I had to bring back one of my favorite guests, Dr. Diana Kirschner. And I have to tell you, she's had a lot going on, big things, and I was honored to be part of it. As you know, Dr. Diana Kirschner appeared on the Today Show and stars in an Amazon Prime TV special on finding love, and it's based on her international bestseller, Love in 90 Days. And to celebrate the 10th anniversary of that book, Love in 90 Days just did an updated and expanded edition, and it is awesome. The book has helped tens of thousands of single people find high value, self love, and soulmate love. And it can end your dating and loving struggles. And here's a little insider tip. She's going to share with us at the end of the show about getting the book and getting all these juicy bonuses that go with it. So it's an awesome offer. So stay tuned because you don't want to miss this. Diana, my dear lady, it is wonderful to have you back on today.
I'm thrilled to be with you. So thrilled. I love your work so much.
Oh, thank you. We're kind of at a little bit different ends of the equation. Mm-hmm. I'm at rising out of the ashes, which we were just talking about, when things implode and explode and your life turns upside down.
Yes.
And you're out there teaching us how to reconnect to love and finding it once again in our lives.
Yeah.
And so many women that need to believe that that truly can happen for them.
Yes. Yeah, it's amazing, but this is really it. We're like the 1-2 punch. You get them through the nightmare, and boy, there's nothing worse than the nightmares that occur in love. I mean, the Khalil Gibran said, even as love crowns you, so shall it crucify you.
Yes.
And he knew what he was talking about.
And you know what I say to women? It's not about the crucifixion, ladies, now. It's about the resurrection. It's about back up again.
Yes.
Live life and feeling love again, in your life.
Yes, and making it better than ever. Better than ever,
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. To me, I don't even like to use this word, but the best revenge is being incredibly further along and happy and successful and creating stuff that is just beyond your wildest dreams. And so you rise up and you do that and you fall in love with yourself, which is so incredible. It's the most important process, is to feel respect for yourself, to honor yourself, to fall in love with yourself, and to say, my God, you're the most courageous woman I ever met. Because you know what you've been through, right? All of us know. And to just honor that and accept that, that's a big part of, of our program too, and certainly yours, is to honor and love yourself, love on yourself, because you know what was happening, what you've had to deal with, the struggles and the disappointments and the betrayals.
It's the foundation of creating anything new. You cannot have it if you do not have that solid foundation of self-love.
Yes.
It's something you don't have.
Yeah.
So it's fundamental.
Yes. But the tricky thing is finding it, especially if you're in the midst of a breakdown, because you start turning on yourself, you start second guessing yourself, you start talking to yourself in a very mean way, which you would never talk to anybody like, you would never say, oh, you screwed up, or it's you deserve it, or whatever. You would never say that, or it's your fault, or you should have done this, or you should have done that. But we do that to ourselves. And so the key is busting through that and finding your own diamond self-identity. I call it the high-value diamond self-identity, which is the inner goddess, the inner phoenix coming up and creating with the divine at her back things that are even better than she ever imagined.
Yeah, beautiful. So why, and this is my first question for you. I think dating has gotten very complicated.
Yes.
Everything is online, it's internet, it's instant messaging, it's texting. It's become extremely complicated. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we have these chapters in the book on it, because it can burn you out so quickly. You can get disillusioned. With the apps now that are happening, Tinder, that kind of thing, what is occurring is that 49% of guys who indicate interest in you, these are guys who have swiped indicating interest on you, will disappear.
Wow. Why?
49%.
Why?
So that's like staggering. And if you don't know that, you feel like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, it wasn't meant to have love. Oh my God, I'm too old. And we start with our inner critique, right? Personalizing it.
Why
But
do they disappear?
it is. It's so much more complicated.
Why do they disappear?
There's a lot of factors in it because, sometimes, because it's right on their phone, it's almost like for some guys, it's like a video game to see how many women like them. Sometimes they're just passing the time. Sometimes, they're into a grass is greener thing, like, oh, that one's for you, that one's for because there's so many choices available. However, the upside of that is that there are so many choices available. And because of that, I call this the age of abundant love. If you know what you're doing, if you know how to actually find the love, find the match, right? It's amazing. Each month, there are 200 million singles each month worldwide using digital dating, that is an online site or an app, 200 million. And the really interesting thing right now is that in the US, 1 out of every 3 marriages is generated from an online match.
Oh. Would you ever have thought that could happen?
No.
You've been teaching this far long. I mean, you've been at this more than I have. Would you ever think that you'd see those kind of statistics?
No. Just when I wrote the original version of Love in 90 Days years ago, I actually wrote that most matches occur through your network of friends and family. And at that time, that was true 10 years ago. Now it's completely reversed. And here's the kicker. The marriages that start online are happier and they last longer.
Whoa.
Yes. They're happier and they last longer. This is really the age of abundant love. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that's because you can get a much better match. It's not just meeting the guys who are your friends of your friends, friends of your family, or you happen to meet them socially or at church or whatever. You can go and find an exactly perfect match that's beyond your wildest dreams. You really, really can. And we see it over and over and over again in our Love Mentor coaching program. Over and over and over again. A woman just got engaged to somebody she met on Tinder. And he is amazing. He is perfect for her. He is successful. He adores her. They just work together so beautifully. They're on the same wavelength. It's just beautiful, and she's not that easy to match. She's a very high-powered, successful woman. Sometimes it's not easy to find your match because if you're smarter or more accomplished, you need someone who can keep up with you. You really do.
Do you think you intimidate that's what happens with women that are successful, that have a strong profile, that they intimidate men?
You can. That's why I devoted a whole chapter to how to write your profile, and you do want to lead with a more warmth, inviting, feminine, warm and, feminine qualities. People tell me I'm a laugh a minute. They feel like they've known me forever, starting with that feminine relatability and that kind of thing. There are ways to really make your profile pop so that you get a lot more choices, to make it pop so you get a lot more engagement. The way you do your photo is very important. You know, you want to make sure you're looking at the camera and smiling, and you have moderate amount of makeup on. Everything we do is based on research, and the research shows that men rate women who are looking at a camera and smiling as more beautiful, right? They rate women who are wearing moderate amounts of makeup as more beautiful. Also, they rate women who wear red as more beautiful.
Oh, okay, girl. I'm getting myself a red sweater then.
It's very, very clear. It's very, very clear. And, you know, it may seem cold to look at research, but, you know, I believe in trying to understand something, you know, where, especially in this competitive, confusing kind of time of dating, you can really have a leg up in terms of looking at what actually works initially, right? You want to have as many guys to choose from as possible. That's the truth. Dating is a numbers game. You don't want to get burnt out. You want to lower your expectations because you want to understand that it's a numbers game and 49% are sayonara. Right. And you want to just go next. Oh, there you are. Next. Oh, there you are.
I love it. Now, because of all the online stuff, communication has changed dramatically. Yes. Nobody picks up a phone. What's going on? Everything is a Facebook message or a text message or a message within the app. I mean, what happened to the good old communication of calling somebody up and saying, would you like to go out on Friday night?
Yeah, well, there's just a tremendous amount of texting and messaging back and forth. The reality is that is a good litmus test. If you meet a guy who is eager to phone you and to talk with you, that's a good criterion to indicate that he's serious. Mm-hmm. You know, it's interesting. The millennials, the poor millennials, they're terrified of picking up the phone. They have it bad with this texting thing. But you know, with them, it's the same kind of thing. You know, you want to screen people out. You want to talk to them on the phone. You want to hear their voice. You want to rule them out. And if they're not talking to you, next. You know, the serious guys that we've seen in our Love Mentor coaching program, the serious guys will pick up the phone. The serious guys will set up a date. They will. And you don't have to be in this kind of gray zone or feeling, you know, abandoned or not chosen all the time. You just don't. You want to just be smart. You know, it's a numbers game. You know, they're busy playing their video game or whatever they're doing. They're not of interest. They're busy playing their video game. We don't care.
Now, you do write specifically in your book about unconscious mistakes that women make.
Yes.
Let's get into some of those.
Yes. Well, I call these the deadly dating patterns. And, you know, if you find yourself always winding up in the same position, feeling the same way, you're again with an alcoholic, you're again with a narcissist, you're again with somebody who cheats on you, or again, you're alone. Chances are there's something going on at an unconscious level where you are putting yourself in this position, right, to be hurt over and over again. And I talk about a number of deadly dating patterns, and understanding the pattern and naming it can really help free you from it. But one of the most common patterns is called the flame out. And in the flame out, you meet someone, it's clicking, they are calling you, you are having a date, you're spending hours on the phone with them, you might wind up having sex with them right away, you feel like this is the one, but you're getting in too deep, too soon, right? And there's so much anxiety there that it makes it harder for the relationship to actually progress to the next step. You don't know who he is. He doesn't know who you are. He's thinking, oh my God, maybe you're doing this with everybody. You know, it can really work against you and destroy something that could possibly be there. Another one is, I'll make you love me, right? Where you meet someone, you decide that you're great together, you'd be amazing, but they're not acting that interested, but you're perfect for them. And you're going to win them You're going to, get them tickets to the playoffs. You're going to suggest that you help them write their screenplay. And, the truth is you can't make anybody love you. But if that's your unconscious pattern, you're going to keep repeating that with guy after guy after guy, right?
I think women have a tendency to do that, and it may be that they modify. I know as a young woman, I did this consistently. I would change who I was to be who they wanted.
Exactly.
And I would dress the way they wanted. I would act the way they wanted. I would not be my authentic self. I would be what I thought they were expecting of me.
Yes, that's the I'll make you love me. I did that as well. And early on dating, yeah, I would sell myself out completely.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of music do I like? I like your kind of music.
And I love what you're saying about this flame out. Women need to go slower.
Yeah.
I think this is so important, rather than just all in, jumping in. They need to know who they're dealing with.
Absolutely. And protect themselves. Yeah, they have to protect themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Find out, maybe he's not looking for a monogamous relationship. Maybe he's looking for every pretty blonde within a 12-mile radius or a 50-mile radius that, he can hook up with. So I think women need to find out what's under the hood with this guy.
Absolutely. My suggestion is you date 3 guys casually at the same time. Mm-hmm. No sex with any of them. Mm-hmm. A little kissing, a little canoodling is fine.
Right.
And to make sure you feel that you're in integrity on the second date, you actually tell them. You actually say, I like a kind of a sandwich. And it's a sandwich of a positive, the bad news, and another positive, like something real that's a compliment, like, oh, Larry, I haven't laughed with anybody as much as I've laughed with you. I can't imagine liking anybody as much as you. But I want to let you know that I'm going to be taking things slow and seeing guys casually. But as I say, I could never imagine liking anyone as much as you. So it's a 1, 2, 3, yep. Right? If the guy is a winner guy, he's going to feel flattered. At the same time, he wants to win you. Mm-hmm. Right? He's going to work to win you. And that tells you a lot. So you deliver that on the second date, Of course, when I tell women to date 3 guys at the same time, they say, I can't find one good guy to date. But the truth is, in the age of abundant love, you can find 3 good guys to date. You just have to learn how. You have to learn how to use that digital dating, how to use some of these offline activities. And I do talk about that in the book, too. I call them mentastic activities.
Mentastic, I love it.
Mentastic.
I love it. Let's get into some of those mentastic activities.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. That's a great expression.
Yeah, well, mentastic activities are activities that you love. This is very important because it's not about I'll make you love me. You have to love them. At the same time, they have lots of guys in them. They just happen to have lots of guys in them. So what does that do? You're in an activity where you're enjoying yourself. You're genuinely interested. You have tons to talk about with the other people because this is your thing. This is your thing, right? And it's a wonderful way to meet guys. I mean, one woman in our Love Mentor coaching program, she went to an upscale wine tasting. She was, savoring the wines, and she met not 1, but 2 guys. One was very wealthy and very, kind of romantic, and the private jet and all this stuff. And then the other guy was very successful, but, but also much more relational. And she wound up with the second guy, of course, smartly. Yep. And they're having the time of their lives. They're traveling the world. She's just having the time of her life. She went to this mentastic activity because she likes wine. She knows wines, right? And she enjoys that. Other activities would be hiking, biking, usually more competitive type sports, like if you could get into it, like triathlon training or that kind of thing, or a little more advanced biking clubs, or dancing. There's certain dancing activities that are fantastic, but you have to make sure that it has men in them. we had one woman who actually wound up with her dance teacher. She went to a dance class and wound up living with her dance teacher because she was in her element. She was dancing. She was feeling fantastic, right? So fantastic activities are fun, and there's artificial intelligence investing, any kind of sports event that you go to, charity events, fundraisers, all kinds of things.
Fabulous, fabulous. If it doesn't work out, so if someone's dating and they're finding that it's not working, how do they get out of that? How do they handle that in a delicate way?
Yeah.
With all the new parameters that are there. So how do
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I advise giving 3 sincere compliments and then letting the person know it's not working, So, Larry, I can't tell you, I really did love laughing with you. I really, and you're amazing and one of the smartest guys I ever met. And, I love the way you interact with your puppy. And you're amazing, you're incredible, but I think we're not the right match. And so I want to wish you all the best and wish you well. And, so you're leaving on a very positive note.
Yeah, that's important, I think, for you and for that other person to, if you're going to step away or sever ties, do it in a positive way. So there's no need to injure another human being or put somebody down. We don't need to do that. Not a conscious woman. No. We don't need to.
Yeah. What goes around comes around. What you put out, the way you treat people comes back to you. I really do believe that. And you want to treat every person as, I actually call it like your family member. We're actually all related. It's very interesting. There's, one woman called mitochondrial Eve, and we're all descended from one woman. It's a Black woman, actually. Except for a very small percentage, we're all related. That living that way tends to make people feel more connected and actually happier.
If you had only one really hot tip that you could give women on how to attract more love, what would it be? Just one.
You ask the hard questions.
I know it is. It's like your best tip.
My best tip is to do the diamond self work. That is work that is so powerful. We've helped tens of thousands of women to do this, and I use it myself. And that is to access your own deliberately created identity, and it's based on who you are, the gifts you had as a young child before you were ever hurt or wounded when you were growing up, and who you want to be. So, and then you get to give yourself a name. It's not just celebrities who give themselves a name. You give yourself a name, like the limitless goddess of love and abundance, or the chosen, beloved being of light, or amazing grace, saucy minx, vivacious vixen, beloved mighty Isis. Each woman chooses a different name when they do this work, and I have a whole chapter on how to do this in the book and make it come to fruition for you. Make it real, make it like a part of your living full out. And when you do that, you create your own charisma, your own mojo. It's so powerful. It's just so powerful. You get to dress the part, you get to get some jewelry that you wear, and this is actually, I'm in my diamond self right now. My diamond self name is the Radiant Beacon of Loving Guidance. And this is jewelry that reminds me of the Radiant Beacon. And it's really, I think I told you my childhood was a wreck. I grew up being phobic. I couldn't talk to anybody. I was phobic. I was mute. was so terrified because I had a very abusive family and alcoholic father who almost killed me for saying something. So I didn't think it was safe to talk. And doing this dying yourself work has allowed me to do what I do. It's been amazing.
Well, my power color is pink or orange. I'm going to give myself a name. Yeah, I'm going to have to work on that. I like that concept.
To me, you're the radiant, inspiring goddess of super healing.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love it. The radiant, inspired goddess of super healing.
Yes.
Right? Oh, I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So, our readers have the opportunity to get, your readers, my listeners have an opportunity to get fabulous bonuses with your book right now. So could you tell us a little bit about that? It's so generous of you. Thank you.
Yes, it's pretty exciting. I have $1,000 worth of bonus gifts for people who buy Love in 90 Days right now. And it's out in paperback, the 10th anniversary edition. And it's from wonderful leading love experts and coaches like you. There's amazing stuff in there. There's a report on how to use your eyes in dating that's never before been available. There's webinars, there's audio trainings, there's sessions, it's just crazy. It's crazy good. And it comes with it. You just buy the book, for like, I don't know, $12, whatever the book costs you. And you get it automatically. So all you need to do is go to lovein90days.com. That's lovein90days.com. And at the top, you'll see where it says $1,000. Click on that, and you'll be walked right through how to get your copy of the book and get all those incredible bonus gifts.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Can you put the link down below under the video?
It will be in the show notes. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. I get the biggest kick out of you. You're so much fun.
Likewise. Say your name again to me.
Radiant and inspired goddess, or maybe it's super goddess of healing, or was it radiant and inspired super goddess of healing?
I love the super goddess.
Because you had super in there, but I don't think I was putting it in the right place. So super goddess of healing?
I love that.
How about just super goddess of healing?
Oh, I like that too.
Oh my goodness gracious, I'll be dancing around the house with that.
And you guys who are watching, play with this. I'm telling you. Just have fun with it.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Give yourself a name.
Thank you, sweet lady. You are wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Just always so much fun.
You too.